Today, on Be Something Wonderful, this 2-second imaginal frame technique reshuffles your entire reality. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. I have a big video for you today. I had a discussion with one of you yesterday, and he said, I love the 2-second imaginal act or the imaginal scene. And if you remember, I talked about this idea of shrinking your imaginal scene into 2 seconds. Because really, that's how we create our entire life experience. In the moment, in 2-second imaginal frames that we create. We reshuffle our entire experience of life with these 2-second imaginal frames. Because when you imagine something, remember, you're not just changing what you believe is the imagined future or the present moment. You're changing the past. You're changing all time. And for her, it was this guy that she had a crush on now, or had a crush on for several months. And she just imagined 2 seconds of her saying, yes, I'd love to. Yes, I'd love to, right? And so that's him asking her out, right? But her only imagining herself saying, yes, I'd love to. Move to that 2 second for almost 2 weeks. And then he asked her out, right? It had to happen because she created it, right? And not only that, here's the remarkable thing. We talked about that a little bit, but she also found a necklace that she said had been lost for 2 years and got tickets to a concert that she's been wanting to go to. Her friends invited her. Think of what she did here. The imaginal scene was around him asking her out, but it also reshaped what she believed was her horizontal or linear past and her future. Do you see it? She moved reality around where that necklace wasn't lost. Where she said yes, this guy asked her out, and where she gets tickets and invited to a concert that she's been wanting to go to, right? That's in that imagined future. Think about the breakthrough here, that normally we're thinking of things in a fixed linear fashion, that we're in this present fixed frame of reality that seems so solid and real. And we have a past frame that seems fixed and unchangeable, a past reality that we either regret or reminisce about or remember. And then we have a present that we either react negatively or positively to or resist. And we have this hoped for future that seems slippery and imaginary, right? So we create that future actually becomes solid because we create it from the past, from our remembered past in our present experience. And so it becomes that predictable future, not the one that we're hoping and imagining for, but one that's based on the reality that we're currently reacting to or resisting, or the past experiences that we regret or remember. And so we recreate and relive that in the present moment. That future frame becomes our present. So we recreate that. But when in reality, what's happening? You're creating and imagining all of it. Your past, present, and future frames in every moment with those 2-second imaginal frames, right? Remember, we're always creating in the moment, if you think about it, with 2-second imaginal acts, assuming or believing something about ourselves, right? Regretting or reminiscing about the past, reacting or resisting the present, hoping for some future, but reliving and recreating whatever we currently believed or believed happened to us, believe that's happening to us now or happened. Instead, you get to create it from a totally new frame, from that all that isness, that new imaginal frame, a 2-second imaginal frame that you return to, right? With the intensity of your awareness and the frequency of going back to it whenever you want. That's what she did, right? She brought the intensity and frequency to it. Not intensity out of effort, intensity out of excitement. That is a 2-second frame that she can go back to. And when you do that, as you're in that present frame, all frames, past, present, and future, are always changing. None of it's fixed. That solid and real present's not fixed. That fixed and unchangeable past is not fixed. That future that seems slippery and imaginary, that turns into or looks a lot like our present and past, is not fixed. It's changing with that 2-second imaginal frame. Right now, you change the past, present, and future. Even that, look at, I even have the horizontal linear line dotted to show you that that's just an experience. That's how you experience reality, through that horizontal experience. So there you are, the great I am, all that isness. All those frozen frames of reality exist. Remember, we talked about this, that you are that I am. You are that great I am. You're in the center of that divine mind, right? In this present frame. But that present frame is changing according to what you're imagining. You see, I have that imagining. And you're pulling from the all that isness of all potential frozen frames of light or reality. All thoughts, all images, all assumptions, all ideas of reality, or in other words, ideas of who you believe you are in your relationship to the world and others, exist as frozen frames of light or potential. That potential of self-aware intelligence. Each frame, or seed if you want to call it, contains the all that is. Each frame is a new world, past, present, and future. Because as you imagine that new 2-second frame, that the horizontal past and the horizontal linear future that you think are happen in a linear fashion get framed or formed right in the here and now. All of it, because there is no time, the past, present, and future. A horizontal past linear experience that makes more sense to what you're imagining now. A linear horizontal future that makes more sense to who you are being now. As the individualized center, you're literally creating worlds. You're reshuffling all of those frames of light and potential that then unfolds in time and space as a linear experience of reality. Right? Similar to what Neville Goddard calls the bridge of incidence. But really what's happening is you're creating that frame, that 2-second imaginal scene, and creating not only a present and future bridge, but a past bridge. Who you are now defines who you were and who you will be. In other words, it creates the bridges and the incidents that led up to who you're being now. You create a horizontal past that makes more sense to who you're identifying with as who you are now, and a horizontal linear future that makes more sense to who you're being now. You build both bridges, past, present, and future, or all 3 bridges in the here and now. So as that individualized divine center, you're literally creating worlds. You're reshuffling all that is, all these frames of light and potential, forming around and unfolding in linear time by the conception that you have of yourself and of life, your life experience. You're creating that linear experience of reality. That's what really the bridge of incidence is. It all unfolds from within you as an outer experience. All other frames or of your linear horizontal experience sprout from your 2-second imaginal scene. They all sprout or get created from that 2-second imaginal scene. That's why the necklace was found after 2 years. That's why she got the tickets to the concert that she wants to go to. And that's why that guy asked her out, because she had that 2-second frame that she returned to. She changed everything, reshuffled everything that before seemed fixed and unchangeable in the past, solid and real and hard to change in the present, and a slippery and imaginary future that never seemed to come and looked a lot like the past, the present, and the past. She changed it all by that 2-second imaginary frame. That's powerful. So all those thoughts, images, assumptions, and ideas of reality, of yourself and others, exist as invisible concepts or conceptions within you. All of those thoughts that you could ever think, all of those 2-second moments exist as frozen frames of light and potential within you in all that is. So you're never changing any one reality, any one version of you, any one event or others. You're imagining a lighting up you're bringing to life a frozen frame of potential from all that is that you are. And around that frame, you create that horizontal past that makes more sense to what you're lighting up right now, and a horizontal future that makes more sense to who you're being now. And whether they create visible, physical, manifested experiences depends on the intensity, not the effort of your awareness of it. So all of those exist as frozen frames. And when you have that 2-second imaginal scene, all of it depends, the physical, visible experience of it depends on what you're aware of, what you believe, what you feel as the conviction of who you are. So it's the intensity and the frequency of returning to that 2-second frame, right? We do it naturally now. Who we are, we're creating these 2-second imaginal scenes that create our entire linear experience because that's who we believe we are. In every moment, whoever you believe you are, that conception or concept of yourself and others in the world recreates in every moment your entire life experience. Remember, in other words, a thought or an image is a thought or image not assumed to be true. Doesn't create that physical experience. This is what Neville Goddard said. A thought that is not felt produces nothing. In other words, a thought or an image not assumed to be true, not assumed, not believed to be true, produces nothing. Or in other words, it doesn't manifest as a visible physical experience. It's still a reality. It's still a frozen frame of reality. Right? So whether you feel it or not, it's a frozen frame. It exists. But when you feel it as real, when you feel that conviction, when you feel that as natural, when you return to it with frequency and intensity of your awareness, it then unfolds as a physical experience. That thought then is assumed to be true. To be aware of reality, of your imaginal frame, really, remember, to be aware means to believe. To be aware means to assume. And so it unfolds from within you, right? So a thought that is not felt produces nothing, but that thought, that image, that assumption, all of them exist as invisible frames or concepts of you. You get to decide with that 2-second imaginal scene what's going to become a visible physical experience in your reality by the frequency that you return to it, by the intensity of your assumption of it, or your awareness of who you are. That's powerful. So from that 2-second imaginal frame sprouts your entire life experience. To the extent which you live it visibly in the physical is dependent on the extent to which you feel it real and natural. In other words, to the extent that you return to it, frequency, with conviction, intensity of your assumption. Right? There it is again. Return to it, the frequency, conviction, the intensity of your assumption or your awareness of it. Your horizontal linear experience of your probable past, presents, and futures sprout from that one imaginal frame. Think of it. This is how you're creating your entire life experience, past, present, and future right now. You believe you're seeing this physical holographic experience of 3D reality, and you are having that experience. That's the blue frame. But that experience is always changing. 3D reality is always shifting and changing according to what you're imagining about yourself, what you're believing in this moment. All happening in these moments, or 1, 2, in these 2-second imaginal frames, you're creating everything. And from that frame, not only sprouts your present experience that feels solid and feels like the only reality, but you create the horizontal linear past that you believed before that was fixed and unchangeable. But it's not, and nothing's fixed and nothing's unchangeable. Do you see it? You're lighting it up and recreating it. And creating that future that before seemed slippery and imaginary. It's all created from the present frame, from the present moment, from who you are. You arrange all that is and all that you are, or that self-concept, right here and right now. That's powerful. So all manifesting and reality creation is about remembering. Think about this. Really is about what are you doing when you have a 2-second imaginal scene. You're remembering something that's already exists in potential as a frozen frame of light, already exists as potential, a potential thought, a potential image, a potential assumption. And you're lighting it up and giving it life by remembering it. Everything, all imaginal acts are remembering, because that's what memory is. It's an image, right? It's an imaginal act. So in some ways, that's what creation's all about. What Neville Goddard called revision or revising is remembering things the way you would like them to be, but not just in the past. You're remembering your past, present, and future right now, because it all exists as potential. So it's not just about remembering the past. It's whatever imaginal scene that you have, whatever 2-second imaginal frame that you light up is already created. It already exists as frozen frames of potential or light, or potential of that self-aware intelligence. The seed is already in that frame to create your entire life experience. Wow, that's powerful. So all manifesting reality creation is about remembering or revising, as Neville Goddard says, how you would like it to be here and now. Whether it's a past event that you believe happened, it's now remembering or revising it how you would have liked it to happen. A present experience that you believe is happening, or a future one that you would like to happen. It's remembering how you would like it to be here and now, because that's when it's created. Nothing's created in the future. Nothing's created in the past. It's all created in the here and now. And that reshuffles all frozen frames of reality, all light and potential, past, present, and future. That's the ultimate imaginal act. Remembering it righteously. That's why Neville Goddard talks about the technique, I remember when. That's why that's so powerful. Because you're not just revising a past event, you're recreating, reshuffling all of reality, all of your horizontal experience. So the ultimate imaginal act, remembering it righteously, not as it appears to be, not as it appears to be as a fixed and unchangeable memory of the past, or a solid and what seems a real manifested reality of the present, or what seems to be a slippery and out of reach and imaginary and hoped for reality in the future. Your remembering it righteously is to remember how you would like it to be right now. That's why in the movie Solaris, Chris Calvin, which I've quoted in many videos, where he says, towards the end of the movie, he says, I was haunted by the idea that I remembered her wrong, and somehow I was wrong about everything. That's why I've used that expression, you're remembering it wrong. In other words, all potential exists. You can remember any potential frozen frame of light, not just what you assume or believe was your physical experience in the past, or what you're presently experiencing, or what you hope for in the future. You can pull from any of that. And it's from that one powerful 2-second imaginal frame that creates your entire life experience. So Chris Calvin, remember, was remembering his wife who died by suicide and what led up to that, thinking it was his fault. And he was remembering all that, but he was remembering it wrong. That was one potential, one frozen frame of light that he had experienced, and he was re-experiencing that in the present. And when you do that, he goes, I was wrong, somehow I was wrong about everything. You're wrong about everything when you do that, because you're creating your entire life experience, past, present, and future, by what you're remembering right now. Wow, that's powerful. So in every moment, with your 2-second imaginal act, you're creating and manifesting your entire life experience. Not just the present, not just revising the past, but creating it, not just hoping for imagining the future, but creating it all right now with that 2-second imaginal scene. You are creating or giving life to that horizontal past that makes more sense to who you're being right now, and that horizontal linear future that makes more sense to that concept or that frame that you're identifying right now. That's why she recreated that horizontal past where her necklace wasn't lost, where a future where she did already got the tickets, a present where that guy does ask her out. So you are never changing any one frame, identity, or reality. You're giving life to a new frame. And from that frame, from that new imaginal frame, sprouts the alternative parallel reality and life experience, past, present, and future. You reshuffle your entire life experience. This 2-second imaginal frame reshuffles your entire reality. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, The Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, our TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, and for being part of our membership channel. There's exclusive content on the membership channel that includes a monthly, nearly every month, live event with me, where I answer questions that you send to me at info@besomethingwonderful.com, and I touch on topics that you want to talk about on the live stream. And lately I've been answering your questions live right on the chat as we go along, as you ask those questions. Be sure to join us this month for our 5th live stream of this year, our 14th live stream in all, on May 26, 2024 at 9 a.m. in the morning, Sunday morning this month, the last Sunday of the month. I'm going to be coming to you live right here from the studios of Be Something Wonderful on the membership channel. If you're a member, join us. If you're not, check out the link below. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.